there it is. It's a pretty machine. All right, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at the MacBook Pro. This is a new MacBook Pro, 14-inch. It's an M2 processor. It's the newest one in the line of MacBook Pros, recently replaced the M1 MacBook Pro. Now, in my previous video, I did say that I would buy the M1 because it was on sale at a lower price. It's no longer available. Now we got this one. We got the M2, same model M2. We're going to take a look. We're going to unbox it. We're going to show you some of the differences, point out, and let you know what you got going here, and if it's an upgrade or if it's just the new model that you have to buy because Mac doesn't give you the other one anymore. So I would say please subscribe to our channel, please like our channel, and follow us. We're going to do this and many more. So let's dig in. All right, so the first thing you might or might not notice, I noticed, is you see this box, the corners are kind of crumpled here too. This came brand new from Best Buy. Came in an outer box. There's dings in the box. There's a little crushed corners. That looks like somebody dropped it. Pretty much, I'd guarantee that. So hopefully everything is fine. They pack these things pretty well. I think it'll probably survive this without problems, but it is interesting that it does have that problem. So let's go ahead. Looks like I might not even need my knife. Apple, as always, has put in something new on their box, and they have here these little arrows, which are pull strips, and it looks like I can just pull that down. We've now cut that. This one, we've now cut that. We opened the box earlier today for this light over there in the corner that we're using now, and they had done the same thing. They put a pull tab so we could open the box without our knife. Interesting. So it has the specs here. I'm going to kind of just cover that up a little bit so you can see the rest, but there it is. This is a MacBook Pro 14-inch. It's got 16 gig of RAM, 512 SSD, M2. All right, let's open it up. Flip it on around, and here we go, as usual. And there it is. Usual, looks the same. I'm going to go ahead and check out this corner real quick, just show you all documentation of what's really going on here. You see, it is crushed in. Definitely a crushed in corner. It doesn't look like it would have gotten, even if I push it. It doesn't look like it probably got to a point, but it does come all the way in here, so I'm still interested to see, make sure this thing is okay. Opens up pretty much just like the typical Mac. We're going to go ahead, MacBook I should say. It does have MacBook Pro. As soon as you look, we'll open up the flaps, and there it is. It's a pretty machine. I'm not seeing any physical damage on it, so let's continue. I'm going to set this. I know sometimes I throw things around, but I'm going to have a little bit more respect for this one right now for some reason. Typical, we have our cable. Looks like it might be a little bit whiter than the last ones. Maybe that's not true. It does still, Apple has gone back to the MagSafe. For those of you who don't know, there's MagSafe. Here it is, our magnetic connection. And you can see it just sucked itself right onto there. It's good and ready to go. I'm going to open this up. Normal Apple stuff. There'll be stickers and books and that kind of stuff for sure. And here we go. We got our power brick. I'm going to go ahead and take the little, I'm looking here for the flap. Just as always, we have the flap, and go ahead and take that off. Plug this in, USB-C, and I have a power strip right here, so I'll go ahead and plug it into the power. It has lit up. As you can see, it's got an amber light, which means it is charging. As I always tell everyone, please, when you get your new computers, they have batteries. Before you start using it a whole bunch, plug it in, let it charge. Give it a full charge. That way you'll retain the integrity of the battery a lot better, in my opinion. So here we go. Let's open the lid. And there it is. We have a MacBook. Take off the protective covering. Left us a little residue. I don't love that, but you know, what can you do? All right. Hello. Different languages. It's going to run through its little welcome for us all. It's a good time to tell you. Please subscribe to our channel. Please like us and follow us. Please tune in again and again and again to see what we're doing, to see the newest things. We're going to go ahead and unbox this. I'm going to tell you some of the specs. I'm going to compare it a little bit to the M1. We're going to do another video where we're going to do some benchmarks. We're going to compare the M2 to the M1, and then we're even going to go back to Intel machine and see the differences and see what it really shows. I did, from what I've read, this M2 is supposed to be 1.4 times faster than the M1. We'll have to do that testing. You'll have to watch this video and we might get to it, but we're probably going to do most of that in the next video. So you'll want to watch this one. You want to tune into the next one. So let's see if we can get past this. It's English. That's what we're doing. We're here in the United States. Continue. We're going to not do accessibility. We're going to choose our Wi-Fi network. We'll put in the password, which is, here, I'm going to hide it from you because I don't really want you guys coming over, okay? I think that should be it. Here we go. And can we get some love? A little bit of love. Can we get a lot of love? Look at that. It wants to do a software update. Surprise, surprise. We're going to say update later because I want to get this in so you guys can see how it's running. Do we want to transfer from any machine? No, we're not. We're going to just start fresh. This is for a brand new user. We're going to set up our Apple ID later, but you'll definitely need that because anything you try to do from the App Store, etc., is going to want you to have an Apple ID. So we're going to skip that. Terms and conditions, of course, we've read all those, and we agreed to those terms. Full name, we're going to go ahead and just do a Reveiw account. Well, we have to set a password. We're going to do a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, but as you might have seen in my other videos, and if you didn't, make sure you subscribe because you missed that one. Go back and look at the video, like us, follow us, you'll see all the new stuff. But what I always recommend is strong passwords. You got to get up above 10 characters. You got to get capitals, lowercase, numbers, symbols. And you really, if you can get to 12, 13, exponentially more difficult for brute force attacks. Watch the video. Look down below. We'll try to link it for you. Anyway, for now, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 because I'm just setting this up to show you guys how this all goes. So here we go. It's creating the account. We'll stand by for a second. And what are we going to see? What are we going to see next? I'm hopeful that this machine really is impressive. Honestly, the M1 14-inch MacBook Pro, as you know, I was impressed by that too. I thought it was a great machine, and I'll use location. I'm not going to share my analytics. Next, we're going to set up later. We are going to disable Ask Siri. If the user wants to set that up, they can. Touch ID. Again, I'm not setting that up. It's not setting up for me. I think I've probably mentioned to you all plenty of times that I've done tech consulting for the last 30 years, and I'm setting this up for a user. I'm just setting up another machine, and I figured, you know what, I'd share this with you. Overall, I think the machine looks pretty much, it looks very similar. There might be some small changes, but not really. I like auto look, so it goes light and dark by itself. There we are. We're at the Mac desktop. We have all the different programs. You know, I was going to try to explain to you guys and do a little comparison because actually the MacBook M2 Pro 14 M2 in particular, it's actually a significant upgrade over the MacBook Pro 14 M1. So yeah, as I was saying, the M2 is a significant upgrade. It has a faster CPU. It has a more powerful GPU. You don't know, CPU, Central Processing Unit. GPU is Graphic Processing Unit. So that being said, GPU is the graphics, the way it can display things, the resolution, the motion, how all that's going to look. More powerful means you can do things like video editing and some more 3D type things. Videos will look smoother, a lot of it, if you have a better GPU. It has about an hour longer battery life in every category, whether you're web browsing or watching a movie. It's a little bit more expensive, but just like always, you know, the price point is what the M1 was before they lowered the prices before the M2 came out. So this is about a $2,000 machine. I've seen it slightly discounted a couple times already. So that's good news. Maybe we'll get some good pricing. This one I think was $2,000. It might have been $1,900. Don't remember. Anyway, same pricing. I don't think it's really that different from what the M1 was. So again, faster, more powerful, longer battery life. And if you could get one still, I still would say if you wanted to save a little money to buy an M1. But at this point, I don't think you're going to be able to find one. We bought a couple of these, and we just couldn't find the M1, or I would have bought that still. But anyway, so basic run over the specs and the comparison. This machine is 10 core M2 Pro. The GPU is a 16 core. RAM, this one has 16, but it does also come in 32. Now, if we just take those and we compare that a little bit with the M1, M1 is 8 core. Like I said, this is 10. M1 has a 14 core GPU. This one is 16. You know, more is better isn't always true, but in this case, yeah, more is better. RAM, the M1 was limited to 16 gig. This, as I said, can expand to 32 gig. This has bigger storage options, same kind of display. The battery life is improved. Overall, I think it's about 20 hours. And the M1 was 17 hours. So you do have those additional functionality. Besides that, you know, it's very, very similar. It feels almost like you have the other machine in your hand. I don't really know what else there really is. It has the standard, it's got a SD card slot, it's got a USB-C slot, it's got full-size HDMI. On this side, we have, like we said, MagSafe, a couple more of these USB-C, and surprisingly, it looks like they've given us a headphone microphone jack to plug in a wired device. Yeah, I think it's a good machine. I'm happy with it. We're going to, like I said, wait for the next video. We're going to do benchmarks. We're going to give you more hard facts on how it performs if we can see that difference in the machines. Anyway, you got to love these Macs. Honestly, they're beautiful. I use Macs. I support Macs. I use PCs. I support PCs. PCs have come a long way to make a nice, sexy machine. But these Macs, they've always been a nice, sexy machine. And this one still is. It's a beautiful machine. It fits nicely in your hand. It feels like it's solid. You know, I think in some ways these newer Macs feel a little less solid. They feel a little more plasticky. There was an era where the MacBook Pros were more metallic, like actually real metal. But, you know, that also means heavier. So is it worthwhile to have a heavier machine? Is it really giving me any more, is it any more durable? Is it any better if it's metal? I'm not exactly sure. I'm still, old school fan of it. Looks like we've got speakers on the back and a little cooling here. It's a nice design. I would get one. If I was going to get into a Mac, I personally like the added power that you get when you run a MacBook Pro as versus a MacBook Air. I think it's way more of a real solid computer. And I would go for it. I don't know actually that those were speakers on the back. They could have just all three been vents and separated because, of course, the Mac has the speakers here. I'll have to look. Maybe they've done some porting to give it a more full sound, like a bass port, and it could just be venting and I'm just missing. But besides that, nice machine.
We appreciate you. We'll see you next week. More exciting episodes to come. Don't you forget about us.